Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video, and today we're going to do the real review of the Samsung Galaxy S3. Now as usual, let's talk about everything I don't like about the phone first, and then we'll get into all of the stuff I do like about the phone. Now, with most phones that you buy, there's always going to be something that you don't like about it. And most of the stuff that you don't like, you can easily fix by either rooting the phone and flashing a new ROM. You could either get some accessories or download some apps from the market, third-party apps. And that'll usually fix most of the stuff that you don't like about the phone. So with every phone, there's gonna be stuff that I don't like, and this phone is no different. The main thing I don't like about this phone is that there's no 4G and no LTE. So basically the phone is running 3G speeds. And everybody knows Sprint's 3G speeds, they're not the best. So no 4G yet. Some certain areas getting them this month or whatever, but New York City, we don't got no 4G and no LTE on the Galaxy S3. So that's the main thing about this phone that I don't like. Next, the second thing about this phone I don't like is the build quality. Now, don't get me wrong, the Galaxy S3 and all the Samsung lines, they're kind of like sushi. It's an acquired taste. It's something that's not for everybody. But the build quality is basically not for me. It's that cheap kind of plastic feel. It'll grow on you after a while, but fresh out the box, if you used to having an iPhone or you had the HTC Evo or the 3D, a high quality build phone, and you get your hands on the Galaxy S3, it's gonna feel extra cheap and flimsy. But there's an easy way to fix that. You just go out and get a nice case for it. So today for this video, I'm gonna be rocking this case I got from Mobile Fun. Little white clear joint, has the kickstand on it. So this is a nice little case. It'll also help with the build quality. So let's pop that on there. Now, once you put this on here, if you can look close on the case, it has grips. So you can grip the phone, and it makes it feel a little bit heavier, a little bit more solid. So that's the one thing I don't like about the phone, the build, but you drop a nice case on it, and the build quality comes back up. Next, no folders. Now, don't get me wrong, you can make folders on this, but it's not like the typical ice cream sandwich folders, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, usually when you want to make a folder on ice cream sandwich, or a lot of other Android phones that's out, you could just grab an app, you put it right on top of it, and make it into a folder. With this one, you can't do that. You have to go to your apps. Now, say you want to make a folder, you grab that app, and then you have to create a folder. Now, if there's no room on your home screen, that just disappears. You won't even have that folder. So in order to make folders, you can do it, but it's just a little bit more trouble, a little bit more work, and I'm not really feeling that. They could have just made it just like ice cream sandwich where you just drag and drop. So I don't really like that either. And the last thing I'm not feeling about this phone, which a lot of people having the same issue, some people not having it, is the Wi-Fi bug. Now, if you don't know what the Wi-Fi bug is, a lot of times you'll be on Wi-Fi in your house or whatever, and you go outside, you want to save some batteries, so you turn Wi-Fi off. A lot of times the Wi-Fi will turn back on by itself. So during the day, you just, be sitting around with Wi-Fi on while you're outside, and it's just killing your battery for nothing. So I don't like that. Maybe they'll fix that with an update. I just got an update today on this phone, so I don't really know what it changed yet or whatever, but hopefully that's something that they addressed. But in the meantime, I'm not really feeling that. Hit me up in the comments and let me know if that ever happened to your joint yet, with the Wi-Fi issues. So basically, that's everything I don't like about the phone. Now let's get into everything that I do like about the phone, which is a lot of stuff. All right, so I'm gonna try to do this as quick as possible. I'm not gonna go too deep into, everything. I'm gonna just tell you what it is, and you can do a little more research yourself, but I'll let you know that it's definitely hot. And also, y'all know I don't do quadrant scores and Limpack and all that. Straight real life comparisons and real life features that people wanna use. First off, the battery for this phone. Now, the battery for this phone is a definite go. Definite. Out of heavy usage, I got 13 hours yesterday. I got 15 hours the day before. I got 12 hours today, but today I've been on nonstop. But basically, you're getting over 10 hours heavy use. So that's a definite go. And keep in mind that the fact that you could also remove the battery. So I got 2 batteries. So now if you got 2 batteries that's lasting 12 hours apiece, then you're good for the whole day. So battery quality on this is a definite go. Definite. That's one thing I really like about this phone, the battery. 2100 milliamps, lasting all day long. Next, the screen. Now there's a big debate. Some people like the LCD better on the Evo. Some people like Super AMOLED. Me, I like the Super AMOLED. Now, the screen on this phone is probably the best out right now. The Super AMOLED, all the colors look beautiful. Let me show you how look how the black backgrounds look how the colors pop out at you. The Super AMOLED is just the best screen out right now to me. Now, some people like Pentile. Some people complain about Pentile and all of that, but for me, I'll take Super AMOLED any day. Even over the HD Retina, from the iPhone. I'll take the Super AMOLED any day. So the screen is a definite win. Also, take a look at the lock screen. Now, a lot of people was hitting me up when they seen the unboxing. On the lock screen, I'm not going to go into this, but you've seen it before. You've seen the ripple effect. That's part of the TouchWiz. You can just swipe to unlock. And also, the way I got mine set up, I have the news at the bottom. So if I want to just look at the news while the phone is locked, I could just scroll up and see all the news going on. And just take me right to the news. So that's a good look right there. Next, let's talk about the speakers. The phone speakers are extremely loud. Now, if you had your hands on the Samsung Epic Touch and you thought that was loud, or you had the Motorola Photon and that was loud, this is probably the loudest phone that I use yet, other than the old school Nextels. The speakers on this phone are mad loud. I can't stress that enough. You're not gonna need Volume Plus for this phone. Speakers are a go. Now, keep in mind, there's no Beats audio, but when you're playing music, if you're using like Google Play or whatever music, Power Amp, whatever you're using, when you're playing music through your headphones, it sounds great. So, it's not Beats audio, but it sounds great. But when you're playing music externally, let me see if I can pull something up real quick and I'll just play a little bit and let you hear what it sounds like. That's a mob beat. You hear how loud that is? Mad loud. All right, so we ain't gonna shout out to Mobb Deep and everybody from Queens. Y'all know how I move out with the old school music. But the speakers are great. So speakers on this is a definite go. Next, let's talk about the UI. Now, a lot of people don't like TouchWiz, but me, the new TouchWiz, after using this phone for a full week straight, I'm almost ready to say that I like the new TouchWiz almost better than I like HTC Sense. And maybe that's because I've been using this phone all week and I haven't been playing with my Evo too much. But TouchWiz is a definite go. All of the ice cream sandwich features are on it. So you got facial unlock, you got NFC chip, you got Google, you got Google Wallet, you got the Android Beam, you got all of those features, but you have more features that's, from Samsung. Now, keep in mind, not only with the facial unlock, you got voice unlock to go with it. So now you can unlock the phone using just your face, and you can also have a phrase like open or, what's up, and the phone will just pop open. So the TouchWiz UI is a definite win. Let's take a look at some of the features, though, from the TouchWiz. Now, I'm not going to go too deep because I already showed you a lot of this in the unboxing, but TouchWiz is nice. So you can see you got the nice bar on the top with all your quick settings. So you got Wi-Fi, GPS, Bluetooth, all of that stuff, sync. Just like any other ice cream sandwich phone, you could swipe away. You could clear everything. And one thing that's nice, you can go straight to settings. So a lot of stuff in TouchWiz I like. Also with TouchWiz, when you want to go to your recently used apps, all you got to do is hold down the power button. It'll take you to your recently used apps. Then you can either just check on something or you can just swipe it away. So if we want to take it to the browser, take it straight to the browser. Now, while we're on the subject of multitasking on this phone is a definite win, and it's way better than the Evo, I'm sorry to say. But when you pop up Windows and you go to something else, it doesn't reload. It'll just automatically take you back to that page that was open. It's not going to reload the page. So now if I take it back to something like the web, it's not going to reload the page. It's going to take me back to exactly where I was at on the web. Pinch to zoom works beautiful. With this big 4.8-inch screen, you're going to love browsing the web. You got quick transitions. Works beautiful. Also, another thing about this phone that's a definite go, and which will set this phone apart from the Galaxy Note and the Nexus and the Evo and a lot of other phones that's out right now, you got to remember that this phone has 2 gigabytes of RAM. Now, if you're not all into computer stuff, you don't know what that means. Basically, every phone that's out has 1 gigabyte of RAM, and this one has 2 gigabytes of RAM. So if you don't know nothing about computers, you know that 2 is more than 1. And basically, just go Google it for yourself and you'll find out what the difference of 1 gig and 2 gigs are. But basically, it helps the phone be a whole lot faster. The phone opens and closes apps faster. When you open up an app, it pops right open. So I take it to Foursquare, pops right open. The multitasking, everything is still running in the background. Back to the web. And I can swipe out. Now also, with the home button, You could use it to select your S voice if you want to use a S voice feature. But what I did, shout out to QB King 77 for this one. What I did was I deactivated that feature. So this is what happens. A lot of people are complaining that, say you're on the app. When you press the home button, there was a delay before you go back home. So all my dudes who got a Galaxy S3, when you press your home button, you're gonna see that little delay when you go back home. If you deactivate S voice from the home button, that'll solve that issue. So now whenever I'm using the app, Google Voice, straight back home. If I take it to YouTube, hit the home button, no delay, straight back home. So that's a definite win. I like that feature right there. Now let's talk about some of the other features. Let me hit the menu real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's take it to the settings menu and let's go to motions. Now here's what makes this phone extra hot. All of these features. So let's go through some of them. I'm not going to display all of them. I'll just go through them. You got direct call. So say I'm sending somebody a text message, and this happens to me a lot actually. If you're driving and you pull at the red light, you try to text somebody real quick before the light change. You don't want to be texting and driving, so you try to text somebody and you say, you know what, let me just call them instead of having to keep on cycling through and get to the contact information and all that. While you're texting, all you gotta do is put the phone to your ear and automatically dial that person's number. So that's a good look right there. That's direct call. All these features you can turn off and on. You got smart alert, which means that I can set the phone up. So say I got the phone, I got little ringtones. I don't want to make too much noise in the middle of the night. I can have the phone laying down. If I get a notification, as soon as I pick the phone up, the phone will vibrate or whatever I set it to let me know I got a missed notification. So that's a good look. You got tap to top, which works good when you're using a site like Twitter or something, or when you're online and you're browsing a long page and you want to get back to the top. Instead of scrolling all the way back to the top, all you got to do is tap the top of the phone and it'll take you back to the top. That's a hot look right there. You got tilt to zoom. Now that's been out for a while, when you're holding a picture, you just tilt it, or you're holding a web page and just tilt it in and out and it'll zoom the page in and out. A lot of people might say that some of this stuff is kind of gimmicky, which it is, some of it, but some of the features I use also. The pan to move icon, that's if you want to move to another page, like say you're on your home page, you just hold down. And you just hold down and you just scroll from page to page. So when you're ready to move an icon, all I gotta do is scroll it side to side if I wanted to place this icon on a different page. So that's a good look right there too. Let's go back to motions. You got pan to browse image, same thing. You got shake to update, which means like say you want to update your Twitter, all you gotta do is shake the phone and it'll refresh the Twitter feed. That's a good look. Turn over to mute. So say the phone is ringing in the middle of the night, all you gotta do is grab the phone and place it face down and it'll stop ringing. That's a good look. Now, I showed you the screenshot feature. That's the palm swipe to capture. That works good. All you gotta do is swipe your finger across and you see it took a screenshot. Swipe across and you get a nice screenshot. Now some people say that's a gimmicky feature because all you gotta do is press power and home at the same time to take a screenshot, but I've been using that palm to swipe all the time now, and I find myself, when I'm using my Evo, I find myself going like this also, and gotta remember that feature's not on there. So that's a good look for this. Also, you got the palm touch to mute or pause. So say you're playing a video, all you gotta do is put your hand over the screen and it'll pause the video, it'll pause the sound out of the video. So it'll cut the sound. So say you're watching a video and then somebody starts talking to you, all you gotta do is cover the phone up for a second, stop the audio, and then let it go and continue playing whatever you had on. So that's a good look right there. Like I said, with the multitasking, now all I gotta do is swipe away some of this unnecessary stuff. And another hot feature that's in TouchWiz is the task manager that's built into the multitasking. So you see how a lot of times you gotta swipe everything out of there, or you could just hit remove all. But with the task manager, you could also kill everything that's running right now. So I could clear the memory. As you can see, 38 apps closed. So now with 2 gigs of RAM and everything closed, the phone is 100% smooth, 100% open, and ready for business. Next, let's talk about the wireless radio. Now, a lot of people might ask me, how's the wireless radio on this? It's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. It's better than the Epic, it's better than the old Evo, it's better than a lot of phones that's out right now. It's not touching the Photon, and it's right on par with the Evo, with the new Evo, the LTE. Everybody knows Samsung doesn't make the best radios, so whatever, that's to be expected. But the Galaxy S3, the radio on it is pretty good. I can't bash it. It's been giving me good. I've been getting good connections, good service. A lot of times I go in the ground and a lot of my phones don't work. I always got to go running back to the Photon or the Nexus, but this one works. So the wireless radio is good. GPS on this, a major go. Major. Google Maps, get the update if you haven't. I'm not going to go through that right now, but Google Maps and the GPS navigation on this, sick. I'm using this now instead of the GPS in my car. Let's talk about another feature I like real quick, the pop-up video. Now, say you take it to your video gallery. Now, this is a nice little touch on TouchWiz also. When I go to my video gallery, you can see all of the videos are actually playing. So that's just a nice touch. While I'm browsing through my videos, they're all actually playing. So now if I select the video, now while I'm watching this video, if I want to continue doing some other stuff, checking my emails and all that, all I got to do is hit the button, and it's going to pop it up. Now I can take it to whatever other app I want to use. So I want to take it to Instagram. I can still be watching the video, move it around, and be on Instagram at the same time. Move this around to wherever I want. And then tap on it to go right back to the video. So pop-up video is a definite win. There's also a feature in this phone. Now this one is kind of gimmicky. I've been using it. Doesn't really work 100%, but there's a feature that you can set it up to stay up, the smart stay. This way, you know how your phone will turn off after whatever time you set it for. Your phone will turn off. If you don't use it for like a minute straight, it'll turn off. Now with Smart Stay, it uses the front-facing camera, so the camera will look at your eyes, and as long as you're looking at the phone, the screen will stay on. So I got my phone to set the screen set to turn off by itself after a minute. If I don't use it for a minute, it'll turn off. But if I'm looking at the phone for longer than a minute, you'll see this little icon will pop up like a little shape of an eyeball, and your phone will stay on. Now that's been working here and there. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. It's kind of gimmicky or whatever, but that's a nice little touch. Next, let's talk about the lag factor, which is a quick conversation because there's no lag on this phone. Zero lag. 2 gigs of RAM, zero lag. So this is the most lag-free Android device out right now. The Galaxy S3. No lag at all. Okay? And last but not least, my favorite category, the floss factor. Now, if you're new to my channel and you don't know what the floss factor is, that means when you're outside and you're in the street, you're at the bus stop, you're in the train station, you're at the club, you're at school, work, wherever you at, when you pull out your phone and somebody else pull out their phone, are you going to be sitting on top of the food chain, or are you going to have to go and hide in the corner? So if you're outside in the street and somebody pulls out the Nexus, somebody pulls out the Evo 3, the new Evo 4G LTE, somebody pulls out an iPhone, and you got your Galaxy S3, your floss factor is at a 10. All right, you sitting on top of the food chain. This is the highest Android phone out right now. If you like to get high on Android, shout out to my homie Zito Max. This is the one that's going to get you the highest. All right, this is the best Android phone out right now. Now, a lot of people have been asking me which would I choose, this or the Evo. Look, I'll do a comparison video and you see for yourself, but I'm going on record right now saying that this is the best Android phone out right now. Okay, the 2 gigs of RAM, the removable battery. We didn't really even talk about the camera. Now, you seen the camera test video yourself. The daytime, nighttime, the camera quality is good. Now, nighttime, yeah, it's a little iffy here and there. A lot of people don't like the sound. Now, I will say that the Evo has better sound with the video camera, but still pictures and daytime video, the S3 wins in that category. So the S3 video cameras, major go. Floss factor, solid 10, all right? You're sitting on top of the food chain with this one, all right? So if you're on the fence, you don't know whether you should get this or not, I highly recommend getting it, okay? This phone is certified, floss seal of approval. You see I even had to wear the shirt for this one? This phone is floss certified. Shout out to everybody that follow me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to everybody hitting the Google Gangster Facebook page. If you don't know about that, check the link on my YouTube homepage and go check out that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Instagram. That's where we at full time nowadays. I'm following everybody back. It's your boy Floss. I'm going to get it with y'all on the next trip. Deuces.